Welcome all to the course of Data Communication Networking B7 semester Electronics and Communication. We are discussing the Unit 3 Data Link Layer. Our topic we are going to see Data Link Control Part 2. In the Part 1, we have discussed protocols in a noiseless channel category, a simplest protocol. We continue our discussion for the protocol discussion. We start our discussion with our remaining stop and wait protocol in noiseless channel. If the data frames arrive at the receiver side faster than that can be processed, the frames must be stored until their use. Normally, the receiver does not have enough storage space, especially if the receiving data from the many sources. This may result in either discarding of the frames or the denial of service. To prevent the receiver from becoming overwhelmed with the frames, we somehow need to tell the sender to slow down. There must be a feedback from the receiver to the sender. The protocol we discuss now is called as a stop and wait protocol, because the sender sends one frame, stops until it receives the confirmation from the receiver. Okay, go ahead, fine, and then sends the next frame. We still have an unidirectional communication for the data frames, but auxiliary ACK frames or acknowledgement tokens travel from the one direction to the other. We add flow control to our previous protocol. Fine, so over here a flow control is there. Design. What is the design of our stop and wait protocol? It is shown in our figure that a particular mechanism is explained over here. Compare this figure with our previous one. We can see the traffic of the forward channel, sender to the receiver, and the reverse channel. At any time, there is either one data frame to the forward channel or one ACK frame on the reverse channel. Fine. So one data from the one channel and ACK from the another channel. So we need a half duplex communication. Right? So there is a communication is half duplex, means a data frame is there in this direction and a data receiving acknowledgement in the second channel. Fine. So it will called as a half duplex link. Over here, a sender and the receiver have three layers as our previous case: the network, data link, and physical. Our data will come from the network, process in data link layer, again go through the physical layer. Our frame is received at the physical layer of a receiver, then data, and go to the network layer. It will give an ACK frame when it receives successfully a data frame. Fine. So over here an event called as an request from the network layer in this direction. This will repeat forever algorithm to send the side. Then our event notification from the physical layer for acknowledgement. Over here repeat forward time, acknowledgement for the receiver side, and notification from the physical layer for this receiving frame. So what is the algorithm used in our stop and wait protocol? So let us discuss a algorithm at our sender side. Here two events occur: a request from the network layer or an arriving notification from the physical layer. The response of this event must alternate. In other words, after a frame is sent, an algorithm must ignore another network layer request until the frame is acknowledged. We know that two arrival events cannot happen one after another because the channel is error free and does not duplicate the frames. The request from the network layer, however, may happen one after another without an arriving event in between. We need somehow to prevent the immediate sending of the data frame. Although there are several methods, we have used a simple can send variable simple can send variable over here. Fine, over here. That can be either true or false. Okay. When a frame is sent, the variable is sent to the false to indicate that the new network request cannot be sent until the can send will be true. When an acknowledgement received, a can send is set to true to allow a sending to the next frame. Okay. So it is a algorithm at our sender side. Now the algorithm at our receiver side for our stop and wait protocol. Over here it is very similar to our previous algorithm with one exception. After the data frame arrives, the receiver sends an acknowledgement in our line 7. Fine. So it is our acknowledgement frame. It is a receive and allow a sender to send a next frame. Okay. So it is very easy to understand the algorithm for our receiving side. Let's go ahead. Example. Yes. To understand this example, you consider this figure. Our figure shows an example of communication using this protocol. It is still very simple. The sender sends one frame and waits for an feedback from the receiver. When ACK arrives, the sender sends next frame. Note that the sending two frames in the protocol involves a sender in a 4 events and receiver in a 2 events. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 at our sender side and 2 event at our receiving side. Fine. Next point is noisy channels. Although the stop and wait protocol gives an idea of how to add a flow control in its predecessors, noiseless channels are non-existent. We discussed 3 protocols in this section that use an error control: stop and wait automatic repeat request, go back and automatic repeat request, selective repetitive automatic repeat request. Fine. So these 3 important protocols we have discussed in the preceding sections. So first of all, stop and wait automatic repeat request. Right? What does it mean? A first protocol called as stop and wait automatic repeat request, stop and wait ARQ, adds a simple error control mechanism to our stop and wait protocol, as we discussed in our last point. Let us see how this protocol detects and corrects the error. To detect and correct the corrupt frames, we need to add a redundancy bit to our data frame. When the frame arrives at the receiver side, it is checked, and if it is corrupted, it is silently discarded. The detection of errors in the protocol is manifested by the silencer of the receiver. Lost frames are more difficult to handle than corrupted ones. In our previous protocol, there was no way to identify the frames. A received frame could be correct one, or duplicate, or a frame out of the order. The solution is to the number of frames. When a receiver receives the data frame that is out of the order, this means that the frame were either lost or duplicated. The corrupted and the lost frames need to be sent in this protocol. If our receiver does not respond when there is an error, how can we sender know which frame is to resend? To remedy this problem, the sender keeps a copy of a sent frame. At the same time, it starts a timer. If a timer expires and there is no acknowledgement for the sent frame, the frame is resent. The copy is held and the timer is restarted. Since the protocol uses the stop and wait mechanism, there is only one specific frame that needs an acknowledgement, even though the several copies of the same frame can be in the network. So we can say that our error correction in the stop and wait ARQ is done by keeping a copy of a sent frame and retransmitting of the frame when our timer is expires. Since an acknowledgement frame can also be a corrupted or a loss, its two needs redundancy bits and the sequence number. An acknowledgement frame for this protocol has an sequence number field. This protocol, the sender simply discards a corrupted ACK frames or ignores an out of order one. So the important thing is our sequence number. How our sequence number play a role in this protocol, let us discuss. As we discussed, the protocol specifies that the frames need to be numbered. This is done by using a sequence number. A field is added to the data frame to hold the sequence number of the frame. One important consideration in the range of sequence numbers, since we want to minimize the frame size, we look for the smallest range that provide the unambiguous communication. The sequence number, of course, can wrap around. For example, if we decide that the field is m bit long, the sequence number starts from 0 to 2 raised to m minus 1 and then are repeated. Let us reason out the range of the sequence numbers we need. Assume we have used an x as a sequence number. We only need to use x plus 1 after that. There is no need for x plus 2. To show this, assume that the sender has sent a frame numbered x. Three things can happen. Three cases are there. First, the frame arrives safe and sound at the receiver side, and the receiver sends an acknowledgement in a no error. Fine. The acknowledgement arrives at the sender side, causing the sender to send the next frame numbered x plus 1. In the second case, the frame arrives safe and sound at the receiver side. The receiver sends an acknowledgement, but the acknowledgement is corrupted or a loss. The sender resends the frame number as a x after the timeout. Note that the frame here is duplicate. The receiver can recognize this fact because it accepts the frame x plus 1, but frame x was received. Okay. Third case, the frame is corrupted and never arrives at the receiver side. The sender resends the frame number x after our timeout or our timer goes off. We can see that there is a need of a sequence number x and x plus 1 because the receiver needs to distinguish between the case 1 and case 2. But there is no need for a frame to be numbered x plus 2. In case 1, a frame can be numbered x again because the frames x and x plus 1 are acknowledged and there is no ambiguity at either side. In the case 2 and 3, a new frame is x plus 1, not x plus 2. If only x and x plus 1 are needed, we can let x is equal to 0, then x plus 1 is equal to 1. This means that the sequence is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, so on. Is this pattern is familiar? Yes. It is a modulo 2 arithmetic, as we have discussed. So we can say that in a stop and wait ARQ, we use sequence numbers to the numbers the frames. The sequence number are based on the modulo 2 arithmetic, a sequence of 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Now, what is an acknowledgement number? Since our sequence number must be suitable for both data frames and acknowledgement frame, we use this convention. The acknowledgement numbers always announce the sequence number of the next frame accepted by the receiver. For example, if our frame 0 is arrived at a safe and sound, the receiver sends acknowledgement frame from the acknowledgement 1, meaning that frame 1 is expected to next. If the frame 1 is arrived safe and sound, the receiver sends an acknowledgement frame with acknowledgement 0, meaning that the frame 0 is expected. Okay. So we can say that in our stop and wait ARQ, the acknowledgement number always announces in the modulo 2 arithmetic the sequence number of the next frame expected. Okay, so what is our design of our stop and wait ARQ protocol? So you see this figure. Our figure shows the design of stop and wait ARQ protocol. The sending device keeps a copy of a last frame transmitted until it receives the acknowledgement for that frame, okay, over this direction. A data frame uses a sequence number over here. A data frame uses a sequence number, and acknowledgement uses an acknowledgement number. The sender has a control variable which calls SN, sequence number SN, sender next frame to send, that holds the sequence number of the next frame to be set 0 or 1. A receiver has a control variable which is called as a RN. Over here it is a SN, it is RN, next frame to received, that holds the number of the next frame expected. When a frame is sent, a value of SN is incremented by modulo 2 sequence, which means if it is 0, then it will become 1 and vice versa. When a frame receives at the receiver, an RS is incremented in the modulo 2 fashion, which means if it is 0, then it will become 1 and vice versa. 3 events can happen at our sender side. One event can happen at the receiving side. Our variable SN points the slot that matches the sequence number of the frame that has sent been but not acknowledged. RN points to the slot that matches the sequence number to the expected frame, means next number of frames. Okay, so a timer is there at our sender side. It will set our timer when our packet will be sent. It will off when acknowledgement arrives. It will going continue when our acknowledgement is not arrived. It shows that retransmit our last frame. Okay, so what is the algorithm used in our stop and wait ARQ protocol? So let us discuss the protocol algorithm. We first notice the presence of SN, the sequence number of the next frame to be sent. This variable is initialized once, fine, but it is incremented by every time a frame is sent, just in our this SN is equal to S plus 1 in the preparation for the next frame. Okay, however, this is a modulo 2 arithmetic. The sequence number are 0 1 0 1 so on. Note that the process in the first event, just like send frame, store frame and proc frame, use then SN over here defining the frame sent out. We need at least one buffer to hold this frame until we are sure that it is received sound and safe. Our line 10 shows that before the frame is sent, it is stored. Okay, it is stored to make a copy at our sender side. The copy is used for the resending a corrupted or a lost frame. We are still using an can send variable to prevent the network layer from making a request before a previous frame is received safe and sound. If the frame is not corrupted and acknowledgement of the acknowledgement frame matches the sequence number of the next frame to send, we stop the timer and proc the copy of the data frame we have saved. Otherwise, we just ignore this event and wait for the next event to happen. After each frame is sent, a timer is started. When timer expires, in our over here, the frame is resent and timer is restarted. Okay. So it is a sender side algorithm. Let's go for a receiving side algorithm for our stop and wait ARQ protocol. So it is our algorithm for receiving side. It is noticed different from algorithm at a sender side. First of all arrived data frames are corrupted by or ignored. If the sequence number of the frame is one of that is expected in Rn, the frame is accepted over here. Right? The data validation is there. The data can be delivered to the network layer and the value of Rn is incremented. However, there is one trouble point over here. Even if the sequence number of the data frame does not match the next frame expected, the SCK sent to the sender. This SCK, however, just reconfirm the previous SCK instead of confirming the frame received. This is done because our receiver assumes that the previous SCK might not be lost. The receiver is sending duplicated frames. The recent SCK may solve the problem before the timeout does. Okay, let's have an example. Consider this figure. Our figure shows an example of stop and wait ARQ. Our frame 0 is sent and acknowledged frame 1. Okay, and resent after the timeout. A reset frame 1 is acknowledged and the timer stops. Okay, over here timer stops. A frame 0 is sent acknowledged, but the acknowledgement is lost. Fine. The sender has no idea if the frame or acknowledgement is lost. So after the timeout, it resent the frame 0 which is acknowledged previously. Okay, so acknowledgement is lost, same frame is sent by our transmitter. Okay, over here frame 1 is lost, then once again frame 1 is sent. Over here acknowledgement is received, frame 0 is sent, acknowledgement is lost, then we repeat the frame 0 over here, then acknowledgement is received. Okay, so what is the efficiency of our stop and wait ARQ? So let us discuss the efficiency. A stop and wait ARQ discussed in our session is very insufficient in our channel if our channel is thick and long. By thick we mean that our channel has a large bandwidth, or by long we mean that a round trip delay is long. The product of these two called is a bandwidth delay product. We can think the channel as a pipe. The bandwidth delay product then is a volume of a pipe in these bits. The pipe is always there. If we do not use it, we are inefficient. The bandwidth delay product is a measure of a number of bits we can send out of our system while waiting for a new from the receiver. Okay, so there will be less efficiency in our stop and wait ARQ. Let's have an example. Assume that on a stop and wait ARQ system, the bandwidth of the line is 1 Mbps and 1 bit takes 20 milliseconds to make a round trip delay. What is a bandwidth delay product if the system of data rates are 1000 bits in a length, and what is the utilization percentage of the link? As you know, the bandwidth delay product is 1 into 10 raised to 6 into 20 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to 20,000 bits. The system can send 20,000 bits during the time takes for the data to go from the sender to the receiver and then back again. However, the system sends only 1000 bits. We can say that the link utilization is only 1000 upon 20,000 or 5%. For this reason, a link with a high bandwidth or a long delay use stop and wait wastes the capacity of the link, means efficiency is very less. Let's another example. What is the utilization percentage of the link in our previous example? If we have a protocol that send up to 15 frames before stopping the worrying about the acknowledgement, the bandwidth delay product is still 20,000 bits. The system can send up to 15 frames or 15,000 bits during a round trip. This means the utilization of 15,000 upon 20,000 or 75%. Of course, if there is a damaged frame, the utilization percentage much less because the frames have to be resent. Okay. So it is a example of our stop and wait protocol. So we have completed a stop and wait ARQ protocol. Before going for a next topic, just called as a go back and automatic repeat request, let's understand what is a pipelining. In networking and other areas, a task is often begun before our previous task is ended. This is known as a pipelining. There is no pipelining in our stop and wait ARQ because we need to wait for a frame to reach the destination and be acknowledged before the next frame can be sent. However, pipelining does apply to our next two protocol because several frames can be sent before we received a new about our previous ones. Pipelining improves the efficiency of the transmission if the numbers of bits in a transition is large with a repeated to our bandwidth delay product. Okay. So we completed this. So we have completed this session. In this session, following protocols we have discussed: stop and wait protocol for a noise free channel and stop and wait ARQ for our noisy channel. Fine. We continue our discussion with our noisy channels. Okay, thank you. See you in the next session.